Okay, so Neil, in the last video I was saying we need to make a hash map for room in the same way that we did in a hash map of items in room the same way we did in player. Let me just make sure I'm explaining clearly why I want to do that. We had a problem where we were, in the take command in game, where we were trying to figure out, we want to take an item out of the room and pass it to Neil. Okay, so we were trying to figure out how do we get the item that's in the room. Well, all we have is this string, which is the name of the item name, right? We want to pass that item name to some method and have it return the item from the room, and then we need to take that item out of the room and give it to Neil. Okay, so that's why we need to be able to associate a string with an item in the room. Okay, so just the way we did it in player, where we made a hash map with a string and the item. Okay, we're going to need to do a hash map with a string and the item for the room here. Okay, so this needs to be a hash map. Paste. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, okay, so we got to make this hash map, right? So copy, paste, string item, right? And then, I'm sure we're not done here. What else gets messed up? Okay, we need to be able to go through and get the item string. Okay, so in the similar way that we loop through the exit string, we want to be able to loop through the item string. So let's do set keys, but this time we want the keys for the items, the item hash map. And the keys, remember, our keys are all those strings. So here's our key. Here are our keys, right? Those are the strings that we're using to describe our items. And then here we have, for string exit keys, we're going to have something like that, but we're going to have let's call it item name here. Oh, wait, I see. Items. We really want to loop through the items, don't we, to get the description off the items. So maybe what we should do then, in that case, there's another thing for hash map. Called values. And that, what values does is returns a collection which you can iterate over. There's some discussion of the iterator type in chapter 4, and I think I'm going to use the for loop and iterators from 4.16.8. So see what they're doing. This was some other project. I don't remember what it was, but I think it looks like Music Organizer, where they have for iterator on track objects. So we're making an iterator with track objects called IT based on tracks. So tracks is the hash map, and there's the no, not the hash map, maybe the values. the values, and there's the iterator. So it tracks as some collection, some random collection. There's the iterator. Could be an array list, right? There's the iterator, and then we have a test to see has next. We're not going to use a increment statement here because this this next method increments gets us to the next thing in the iterator, and that's what we can use to check has next. So we'll keep doing next until has next becomes false, basically. All right. So so let's use that instead. Let's use so instead of a set, we're going to have a collection, and actually what we can do is just say for, let's do this, for iterator item, I'll just call it iterator equals, now here's where we have to be a little slick. So items is our hash map. To get the collection, we're going to use that values method that I was talking about. Let's see. Yeah, values. Okay, and that returns a collection, and then when we get that collection, we can get the iterator that goes with it. Okay. So that basically sets up our for loop. That's the first thing that we're going to do. And then to iterate through that, we have to check our iterator and see if it has next. And then just like in that example that we saw, we don't have to put an increment kind of statement in here because we're going to use that down here. We're going to say iter next get description because we're getting the next item. Okay. I think that's. Oh, we have to add iterator. It should be like a Java util thing here. I don't think we need hash set anymore. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we just need iterator here. Okay, now we have the add problem, right? So to add, we don't use add on a hash map, right? We use put. So we have to put a key and a value. All right, so let's put, for our key, let's see, for item, we're using the name of the item, right, which I guess we have description here. So let's use the description of the item as our key. Where were we? Player, right? Oh, no. Room, I think. Yeah. Okay, so let's use... Yeah, so let's use the description as our key, and we'll associate the item with that. Okay. And yeah, it looks like that compiles. So now, what were we doing all that work for? So now what we want to, now we should be able to, from game, we should be able to get the item from the room. So we have a way of getting the current room, right? How do we get our current room? Okay. So from our current room, we can get the item name. Or I'm sorry, no. What did we call it? We want to get the item, right? Oh yeah, I don't think we wrote anything yet. Room. Yeah, we need to write something to say get item, right? So let's say public. It's got to be public because the game class is going to be calling it. Room. Oops. Room. Get room. String. Or get item. I'm sorry. Get item. String. Item. Name. Okay. And here we return. And here we're going to go to our items hash map and just get the item associated with item name. Okay, so there. So now, what's going on here? Input. Oh, yeah, this is an item, right? Because we're getting an item. Okay, so now, let's go back here and let's say get item. So we want to get the item associated with the room. Alright, so now we should be able to let's see if that makes life a little better here. TJ. Oh, you know what? I'm going to forget that for a second. I want to clear this terminal window first. Okay. So now, compile, make a new one, TJ. Okay. And let's play here. Okay. Go west. Take wine. Now, yay, my item has a reference to an object. That's what I wanted. And I have a total weight so far of 0 because I haven't picked anything up yet. So let's see. Let's just step at this point. So now, so total weight is 0 at this point. If I do an item get weight, oh, let's check the weight of the item. So it says the weight of the item is 2, so I should be able to pick it up. This is my max weight. Let's just double check my max weight. It should be 10, right? That's what we set up. Oh, 5. Oh yeah, that's right, I reset it. Okay, so since 2 is less than 5, we should be good. So if I step, yeah, looks like that worked, and we're putting it. So now, I possess one of those guys. So let's see. You take the item. That's good. That's good. Can I continue? What happens? It says you take the wine. So now let's try to take the chicken. That should max us out, right? Take chicken. Okay, so now, let's see, our total weight should be 2. It is. That's good, because we're holding the wine right now. And the chicken should, let's see, what's the chicken weigh? And the chicken weighs 5, so we should not be able to pick up the chicken because our max weight is 5. So let's see. The total weight is less than no. Oh, it's going to say this item weighs too much for you to carry. Let's continue through, and it says this item weighs too much for you to carry, but it also says you take the chicken. So we have to figure out why that happened. looks like in here we're saying you take the chicken regardless. So I'm going to let you think about what you need to do to fix that. Okay. One thing you might think about doing is, returning some value from take item that tells you if the item was taken successfully. You could return a Boolean, true or false, or you could return the item that you tried to take. And if it's null, then that means you weren't successful or something like that. But I'll let you work on that. But hopefully that is getting you closer to where you want to be. And like I said, so you want to go into take item, and Neil is your player, right? So you want to look at take item, and like I said, maybe return something if the item was not successfully picked up. You could maybe have a Boolean here and return true if it was picked up successfully and false otherwise, or or like I said, maybe return the item if the item was added successfully, or return null if it wasn't, something like that. Okay, and then do a test in game to decide what to print. And you might want to rethink too whether you want to do your printing out in player, or if you want to shift all your printlns to game. Okay. All right, so I hope that helps, and let me know if you have any more questions.